everyone, welcome to clearQuiz channel. In today's video, I have some amazing halal and haram quizzes for you. Are you ready? Let's get started. Men wearing simple and dignified clothing is halal or haram in Islam? In Islam, men wearing simple and dignified clothing is considered halal, not haram. Islam emphasizes modesty and decorum in dress, but it doesn't mandate a specific style of clothing as long as it meets certain guidelines. Seeking guidance from fortune tellers is halal or not? In Islam, seeking guidance from fortune tellers is haram. This is because it involves associating partners with Allah, as fortune tellers claim to have knowledge of the unseen, which is a divine attribute that only Allah possesses. Believing a fortune teller's claims is considered disbelief in Allah. Furthermore, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned against seeking knowledge from the stars, which is a form of fortune telling. Wearing modest clothing that covers the aura is halal or haram? Yes, wearing modest clothing that covers the aura is considered halal in Islam and is even a requirement for fulfilling the religious obligations of modesty and covering the private parts. The aura is the part of the body that needs to be covered. For men, this is typically considered the area between the navel and knees, while for women, it's generally the entire body except for the face and hands. Making dua to someone other than Allah? In Islam, making dua to anyone other than Allah is considered haram and a form of shirk. This is because asking for help or making a request for something that only Allah has the power to grant is a form of worship, and worship should only be directed towards Allah. Women wearing hijab as an act of faith is halal or not? Yes, in Islam, wearing hijab as an act of faith is generally considered halal and even encouraged by many Islamic scholars and believers. It is seen as a way to fulfill a religious obligation and demonstrate modesty and faith. Following innovations in worship. In Islam, following innovations in worship is generally considered haram, forbidden, with some exceptions. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, stated that whoever innovates in the religion, their deed will be rejected. Wearing clean and presentable clothing. In Islam, wearing clean and presentable clothing is halal, permissible, and even encouraged. Cleanliness is highly valued in Islam, and it's considered part of faith to maintain a clean appearance and surroundings. Choosing clothing that reflects Islamic values. Choosing clothing that reflects Islamic values is considered halal in Islam as long as it adheres to the principles of modesty and avoids anything that is considered haram. Modest dress is a core Islamic value, emphasizing covering the body and avoiding attire that attracts unwanted attention. Wearing tight or revealing clothing. In Islam, wearing tight or revealing clothing is generally considered haram, particularly for women, except when it is worn in front of their husband or other close relatives. This is because such clothing can be seen as drawing undue attention to the body, potentially leading to temptation or misbehavior. Asking for help from a dead person. In Islam, asking for help or intercession from a dead person is considered haram. It is a form of shirk, which is associating partners with Allah in His divine authority. Muslims believe that only Allah can grant blessings, and seeking help from the dead is a form of polytheism. Men wearing silk clothing. If the item that a man is going to wear is made of natural silk, then it is not permissible for him to wear it, no matter how it looks or feels, and no matter whether it is a shirt, pants, socks, a necktie, or anything else. Giving charity to the poor and needy in any month. Giving charity to the poor and needy is considered halal and highly encouraged in Islam. It is a cornerstone of the faith, with obligatory charity, zakat, and voluntary charity, sadaqah, both playing important roles. Men. Wearing gold jewelry. In Islamic tradition, wearing gold jewelry by men is generally considered haram. This is based on various hadiths that discourage men from adorning themselves with gold. While the Hanafi school of Islamic thought considers it makruh tahrimi, strongly disliked, other schools of thought consider it haram, associating partners with Allah. In Islam, associating partners with Allah is considered a major sin and is strictly forbidden. It is the biggest sin in Islam, as it denies Allah's unique and absolute oneness. Associating any being or entity with Allah, either in worship or by attributing divine qualities to them, is considered shirk. Wearing clothing designed for the opposite gender. In Islam, wearing clothing designed for the opposite gender is generally considered haram. This is due to the prohibition against men imitating women and vice versa, particularly when it comes to clothing that is unique to a specific gender. Dressing extravagantly to show off wealth. Dressing extravagantly to show off wealth is generally considered haram in Islam. This is because it falls under the broader category of israf and tazkur, which are discouraged in Islamic teachings. The Quran and Sunnah emphasize moderation in spending and avoiding excessive displays of wealth. Reading. Quran is a daily habit. Reading the Quran daily is considered halal and strongly encouraged in Islam. It is seen as a great act of worship and a way to connect with God. Reciting the Quran and reflecting on its meaning are not only encouraged but also considered part of a good Muslim's daily life. Neglecting prayers intentionally. In Islam, intentionally neglecting prayers is haram and a major sin. Some Islamic scholars even consider it a form of disbelief, though the majority view is that it's a grave sin punishable by Allah. It is an obligation for Muslims to perform the 5 daily prayers, and intentionally omitting them without a valid excuse is a serious violation of Islamic law. Thanks for watching.